Hello, good morning, how you doing? Chapter 7 of Breaking the Spell with Daniel Dennett is the author of the book that we're reviewing today. Chapter 7 is called The Invention of Team Spirit. There's a lot of information in this chapter. I think it could have been broken into 2 chapters personally, but anyway. He mentions religion, groups, safety in numbers. He refers to humans as apes. He says we like other apes. I don't know why he makes that analogy. Well, of course, as a Darwinian he would, but anyway. Page 181, he quotes Richard Dawkins' views on the Gaia hypothesis. The Gaia hypothesis being that the Earth's biosphere is like a superorganism. The quote that he gives from Dawkins about the biospheres on other planets, it just sounds like some kind of demented science fiction. I don't know why he includes that in the chapter. That doesn't add anything to it at all. I'm going to skip through. If I notice anything else, I'll include them in the notes below the video. But I'm going to skip to his contribution that he makes here. He says that the evolutionary design process that has given us religions involves the differential replication of memes, not groups. And where did he get memes from? He got it from Richard Dawkins, obviously, right? I just find that to be non-essential, inconsequential. But a lot of what he's talking about in this chapter, I wrote notes here saying that it could be applied to governments, like political parties, or to athletic competition, like sports teams. And later on in the chapter, he actually agrees with me. I wrote here, Dawkins' theories about evolution itself is a mind virus that has been adopted by Dennett. He says that religion is like a mind virus, right? Well, Dawkins considers humans to be a virus. So, that's from page, where am I now, 187. He says, remember Borgel's second rule. Evolution is cleverer than you are. What kind of grammar is that? How about evolution is more clever? Evolution is cleverer than you are. I guess because they're not allowed to use the word intelligent. That would put them in hot water, I suppose. The interesting part here is when he says that, where am I? He does eventually say that these things can be applied to other secular things. So he agrees with me here. If I can find it, these other alternatives in the marketplace of ideas, he lists a whole bunch of them, right? Political parties, revolutionary groups, ethnic organization, labor unions, sports teams, as I mentioned. Right? All these things can be applied to those as well. All this theorizing that he's doing, and philosophy in itself, which I'll give him credit for mentioning that. I mean, think about it. He's in a religion of academia. They have their preachers. They have their Mecca of Cambridge. They collect money. They attend retreats for themselves. Everything that he's talking about here about the perpetuation of memes, it can be applied to atheism, that atheism is a mind virus. Obviously, Dennett caught it from Dawkins. How is that not a mind virus? Just saying, right? And then at the end of page 188, he says, the results shed light on cooperation and altruism in secular as well as religious contexts. This helps highlight the features that distinguish religious organizations from others. And then where's the rest? That's He just stops there. How is religious organizations different from the others? Well, in the rest of the chapter, he goes through and gives a lot of details about the characteristics of North American religion, mostly focusing on a North American evangelical religion, and has some very interesting, eye-opening statistics about that. But the point is, he never breaks down how the alternatives, the secular memes, are any different from religious memes. It's not addressed in here. If it is, I didn't find it. I mean, maybe I got to read this chapter a second time, but I just find the whole thing relatively unnecessary. Besides the interesting insights on the statistics on the American religious landscape, besides that, he's just subject to a mind virus and the repercussions of a mind virus of atheism could be more dangerous than a mind virus of a specific religion. The mind virus that is, or a meme of a specific religion, generally have philanthropic values. They spend money on children's programs. They spend money on taking care of, supposed to anyway, take care of orphans and widows. What does the mind virus of atheism do for their zealots, for their evangelists? Dennett is an evangelist. Dawkins is absolutely an evangelist, right? And so what is the result of their meme, of their mind virus? Well, it says that humans are nothing more than viruses. That's the result of their foundational principles, if you want to call it that. And their God, of course, is Darwinian evolution by adaptive selection. That's their God. And so the only thing that's important for them is genes, nothing. Taking care of the planet, of course, would be a big one, right? They want to have the nature a la David Attenborough, like examining all the birds and examining all the trees and elevate that above the viruses of humans. That to me is a pretty sad outlook, I mean, you got to call it as you see it. I mean, what are you left with, right? So a very long, meandering chapter that probably should have been cut into 2 sections, but I'm going to move on because it's just a waste of time, to be honest with you. The next chapter, Belief and Belief, chapter 8, I guess I'll get to work on that. Maybe I'll read it a second time and give it a second go, but it's very tedious, and I might just make a few notes on it, and I think it's inherently dismissible, to be honest with you. It's just, it doesn't recognize, as Dawkins would call it, pots and kettles, the pot calling the kettle black. I wouldn't have the eloquence that Dawkins does in describing that condition, but isn't that the condition here in chapter 7? I mean, it's very flimsy, very flimsy. Anyway, I'm going to cut this short. Thank you so much for watching. God bless you. Have a great day. Take care now. Bye-bye.